you start this property journey? Like, I'm pretty, because I know a bit, but
Yeah, well, I guess my journey started when you left school and you didn't know what to do with your life. And it was probably always interested me. My father was a real estate agent. My grandfather was also a real estate agent, and they owned property. And that was never really in my psyche of selling real estate, because there was always a bit of a, I guess, I thought I could do more and achieve more rather than just sell on that side. So that got me into going down the development path, and I ended up studying a degree at Queensland University of Technology, which is a Bachelor of Property Economics, to sort of keep that nice and simple. So once I left that, I got into the development space.
So when did you start? I just want to when did you start? When did you start that degree? Was that like straight after school?
Oh, yeah.
So like 2005 or 6?
2006 is when I started that.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, so that's probably the start of my journey on that front.
Yeah.
Once I finished the degree, I ended up getting into finance, because obviously the GFC was pretty hard to find work in property in 2009 when I finished. I actually took a year off, and that's when we travelled around the world together.
Yeah.
So that was probably a very pivotal moment in my life as well, when you stop thinking about money and you're thinking about lifestyle as well, because tomorrow's not guaranteed for anyone.
Yeah.
And then also understanding how people live in this world and how little we actually need to have a really fulfilled and content life. So when I came back, I was more interested in lifestyle and understanding how to maximise your income, essentially, to create a more freedom-based lifestyle. So I got into financial planning, because obviously the development space and the financial planning space
I forgot you did financial planning.
Yeah, so I ended up working with one of the big four banks as a financial planner. I worked my way up in the business, and
I laugh because you hated that job.
This is where we have this conversation where like my father has been a very pivotal person in my life, because I said to him, I was like, mate, I hate this job. I hate getting up. I hate sitting on a train.
Didn't you like come home one day like just not in a good space?
Oh, I cried for sure, because you spend your whole life, like your adult life, you go to university, you get a good job, you do what you're told to do, and then you get there and you realise how unsatisfying and unfulfilled you are as a human. So I ended up just quitting then and there without another job to go to, just for my mental health.
Good. Mental health first.
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in that finance industry.
Yeah.
And people they're all in it for themselves at the end of the day, and it's just a moral obligation that I had with clients. I just couldn't do that. Anyway, so I shifted, and had some friends that worked in property valuation. So I ended up networking my way into a large property valuation firm.
Did you have to study? I'm pretty sure I remember you went back and did some extra study for property.
I'm always studying.
Yeah. This is why he's the guru.
I guess it's always
modest, though.
At that stage in life, like I guess imposter syndrome kicks in. But after 15 years of working in the industry, things are second nature. And just like anybody, if you were to be a plumber, then I don't know how to plumb, right? So I get a plumber to help me out. But
just for everybody, I used to be a plumber.
But yeah, I got into valuation. So valuations, it's a very interesting profession. So you need to not only do a certain degree, which my degree of property economics fit that mold.
Yeah.
Then you have to go and be an assistant for 2 years full time and work under all the senior valuers and my director. And then I sit in front of a board, and basically I have to do 4 long form reports between residential, commercial, mixed use, and retail. And from that, they judge my reports and see, well, are you suitable? And that's one board of members that judge you. Yeah. That's the valuation.
Are we allowed to drop names as well, like who you work for?
Yeah. Taylor Byrne was the first firm. They got bought out by Landmark White a few years back. And then, Heron Todd White is the large firm that I ended up working with. So I've networked my way into that. And then, yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but you're just that constant seeking growth and career satisfaction, and that's what I guess leads me into that next stage of my life where I've been learning so much about property, and I see people every single day when I was valuing making really simple but expensive mistakes. So a part of me was like, if I could teach people how to not make these simple mistakes, it would save them hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of their property journey. And then the big buyer's agent space came into
went bananas in the last 6 years, maybe 6 years.
So it's been around probably like 2000 was when it really started. Those were the pioneers on that front. But it was a lot of that buyer's agent space originated out of sales agents just seeking properties for people. But then there's a conflict of interest there because the sales agent, it's in their best interest for their client who's paying their commission to get the highest sale price. So when they're bringing buyers to that transaction, the buyer has, like the trust is there because, oh, you've bought me this, you showed me this property and it's exactly what I'm looking for. And then it comes down to the negotiation and price, and that's when people are getting fleeced. So yeah, I've jumped into that realm of helping people buy a property, and I do that as a full-time career now around Australia. So I specialise on that space.
Actually, I think there was a step that a portion of your career that you may have missed, So I just want people to know like how good Sam is, because I know like I come to Sam with a question, he just knows it, and so he's helped so many people, so many friends. Like he just flies under the radar. He's like the enigma in the property like space between our friends. Like I'm not kidding. He's helped so many people.
Thanks, man.
Haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it gives me satisfaction too.
Yeah. And so there was a step there that I think that you may have missed, and you went from property valuation. Well, I think it's important to like break apart what you were doing when you were valuing properties, because you were doing at the start, you were doing a lot of properties, and then you realized, hang on a second, I'm making good money, but I'm also about lifestyle. And I remember, and that's why we started this. We're starting this as well, because like we're big on helping people make money, but that's not that's the byproduct of what I think the actual goal should be for people building a property portfolio. This is my personal opinion, but I think the actual goal should be lifestyle and having more time with friends and family. You've got a young family now. I'm huge on my time. I do like 20 hours a week in my business, and that's because I wanted to chase lifestyle over money. We make good money. Both of us make good money, but we're more about lifestyle. And I think the lifestyle is that like the real asset that you want to chase, because then it makes you better in having the capacity to make better decisions in life because you've got more space, right?
Yeah, time is the most valuable resource.